directly launch a product without prototyping, then it's like sunking a good fortune for a product that no one wants.
I believe that empathy is the most important aspect in design thinking. Hi, I'm Ram Soni. I'm the Vice President of Design Thinking Club at SOIL. And when I think of design thinking, it always takes me back to those 5 steps like empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And I would like to talk about empathizing. So when we think of empathize, we think of, putting yourself in the shoes of others. Like what are their feelings, what are their wants, and what are their desires. So, some people might think that it's just a questionnaire. Empathy mapping basically means like sitting together with the customer and understanding what they think, what they feel about a certain problem. So it is different from a questionnaire. Like when you speak of a questionnaire, you think, I give you this questionnaire, you fill the problem, you tell me what the problem is. But on empathy mapping, we talk about what do you feel about the problem? What do you think about the problem? What do you do to avoid the problem? Like all these aspects will help us in going deeper and understanding what the main problem is beyond the problem. And after that, we can create a unique solution that can provide genuine satisfaction to the customer. Yes, certainly, I believe that empathy is the most important aspect in design thinking because the word itself involves thinking. You have to think from the perspective of the consumer. You have to think from the perspective of other people for which you are creating a customized solution. So I think that empathy is the first step and it is the most important step. If we have to understand through an example, I can certainly take an example of Zara and Uniqlo. So when we look at Zara, we can see that what kind of customer do it caters to. So it's mostly females who are willing to compromise on quality and they are more concerned about how the product looks. But when we go to Uniqlo, we can see that the customers that they are catering to, they are more concerned about the quality, about how the product feels. So I think that's where the major difference lies, and that's where I think both the companies are empathizing with different kinds of customers and targeting them accordingly. So I think that is where each of the success of this business, because both of them are successful. So their success lies in that part of empathy, that they are empathizing with the customers.
According to me, yes, definitely define is a very crucial part in a design thinking process. Why? Because in the define, we are not taking only one stakeholder's opinion. We have to take all the stakeholders' opinion. Okay, so I will give you an example. Have you seen the Bangalore traffic? And you also seen there are many roads, like there are highways, there are like 4-lane roads. So did that problem solve? Like you have seen like still there's a traffic, a lot of traffic. Like doing these things like more highways, more roads, the problem didn't solve. So what is the main problem is that the people are not looking towards the whole stakeholders problem. They are like finding like if I have a problem, so I am going with that thing. I want to go from here to there, so I need a broader way, broader roads. But the thing is, we need to capture whole Bangalore in a less time, and so that we can go from point A to point B. So these all points we have to consider. So generally, what people are creating problem, but they are creating the problem, but they are not taking the point of views of every stakeholders.
Ideation is a very important phase. I feel ideation is a phase where you generate ideas to a particular problem statement, and that's how you build up on the solution. So ideation has a variety of stages, where build up on ideas, come up with solutions. But the most important one I feel is brainstorming. That is something which is very important. Brainstorming, there will be multiple ideas that will come to your mind, and you'll go on prototype, test them, but many of the times you'll fail, and then you'll come back to the ideation process. So I feel no idea is a bad idea in ideation.
So for me, prototyping is like creating some products before and testing them before directly going to the market and launching a product. The prototyping stage is all about fast failing and finding solution at a very affordable cost. For example, if you directly launch a product without prototyping, then it's like sunking a good fortune for a product that no one wants. One of the product was recently launched by EV manufacturer in India, and it failed drastically and causing the company a loss of millions of dollars. The major reason of failing was the car was not able to serve the needs of the customer. For example, in India we need a family car, is able to get 4 people into it, but the car was a 2-seater, and though it was cost efficient, but talking about its range, its features were not compatible with the Indian audience. Therefore, the market didn't accepted it, and the company have to face a loss of millions. If they would have done a good prototyping, they could have catered a small amount of audience and given them the product, because a brainstorming in a vacuum won't give that valuable insights that a customer is looking into or a customer will provide, because we have to consider the end user as well, and the things, the feature the end users are looking into might not connect with the people in the brainstorming session in a vacuum.
Yeah, definitely. I believe testing is the one of the most important part, because see, you are understanding a problem and you are providing them a solution, right? You are providing the solutions to whom? The users, the customers, right? And if you don't test the product with them, that whether the customers are able to adapt it, whether the customers are ready to accept the product or not, the product will fail anyways. Say for example WhatsApp. Sometimes what WhatsApp does is it launches a update which is available to everyone but for a single day. Now in that single day, what WhatsApp does is it includes the features or the updates which they are planning to launch it in the near future, just so that they can get an idea that what is the consumer behavior like, is the average spend time in WhatsApp higher or lower compared to the previous ones, the new updates that they have given, whether those updates are user friendly, whether the users are using them or not. So by all these observations, they evaluate whether this update is good to go or should we drop it and replace it with some other solutions.